Y'all saw the video I just posted the other day of the BBW looking like Biggie Smalls in the face. Y'all see what she was on. Y'all see everything she wants. You put down everything on that list. What is she bringing to the table outside of some box? And she's not even attractive enough to pass the boner test. But she expects a man to do all those things for her. And she was a BBW. So that right there, it fits right into this. Into this. Like, honestly, this was one of the reasons why I wanted to react to this next. Because it connects to the video that I did prior to this. Method to the madness, fellas. This is another one of the reasons why I was heartbroken by Kevin Samuels set passing, man, because can you imagine a collab with Kevin Samuels and Jordan Peterson? And then if you even want to throw Rolo in there, oh my God, bro. Like, those are three minds that I would love to just, man, like, what I would give to be able to pick their brains, bro. Like, for real, man. Man, rest in peace to the Godfather, too, bro. Let's keep it moving. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Ron, back with another video. Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. On the road to 1,000 subs, baby. Let's get it. Alright, so if you're new to the platform, please subscribe. If you're an OG, I appreciate the love and support. Now, let's go ahead and jump into it. So today, we're finally going to hear words from Jordan Peterson since, you know, he went viral on, I think it was Twitter, for making a statement about the plus size model that was on the recent cover of Sports Illustrated. For y'all that don't know, the recent cover of Sports Illustrated, it had 4 different covers. One of the women being Elon Musk's mom, who's like 80 years old, and she had a one-piece on. The plus-size woman that we're going to be discussing here, and then I think it was Kim Kardashian and Sierra. I'm not sure. Yeah, I know the third one was Kim Kardashian. I want to say Sierra, but I'm not 100% positive on that fourth one. Basically, what Jordan Peterson did was he said was that that she wasn't considered attractive, and is speaking on the narrative that's being pushed nowadays with women, where they're trying to make plus size women accepted as being attractive to men, which is why you get the, you know, fat shaming tactics and this and that from, you know, plus size women calling men fat phobic for not wanting to be with women that are plus size. And it was just nice to finally see somebody finally speak up and say something, and just to see the backlash that he got for it was crazy. But he finally speaks on it for the first time since you know, he shut down his Twitter. So let me quit running my mouth. We're gonna go ahead and jump into it. All right.
A couple weeks ago, you tweeted something out that, yeah, I'm gonna bring it up. Okay. That got a crazy amount of attention, which did it?
Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, I believe you're referring to.
Yes.
I tweeted out, sorry, not beautiful. Yeah, people weren't very happy with that.
And then everyone got upset.
Yes, they did. And then I left Twitter again, more or less, right after that, and everyone assumed that was why, and it wasn't.
No.
It was, I suppose in some sense it was, because what happened was an indication of the problem with Twitter. But I had been not reading Twitter comments for about 3 weeks, although I had been tweeting through an intermediary, one of my staff members. So I'd email him a tweet, but not reading comments, because I found that quite
irksome.
Yeah,
like you're associating with the
devil.
Sure. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it was like sort of like standing in a public park where anybody, no matter who they were, could come up and yell at you to any size audience about anything they wanted, day or night. And so I've been thinking that through. I'm going to write an article about what's wrong with Twitter and social media in general. But No, I looked at the Sports Illustrated cover, and they had a rather overweight young woman, quite symmetrical, so nice facial features and so forth, with a very revealing swimsuit on the cover. And I thought, no.
Nope.
Like, not in a personal way, but it's unbelievably manipulative for about 3 different reasons. The first is it's a very tawdry attempt to capitalize on cheap sales. And I mean cheap in a specific way. Sports Illustrated hit the gold mine with their swimsuit cover, I suppose 20 years ago, whenever they established that. Because it was obviously it's a sports magazine, so it's about athletics. It's about athletic people. It's about athletic bodies. And they had a swimsuit issue, and it really was a big hit. And then it became kind of a cultural icon. And it's a very specific kind of cultural icon because it focuses on a very exceptional kind of high-end beauty. And so that beauty would involve symmetry and signals of youth, because that's part of beauty, sexual beauty, physical beauty, waist to hip ratio for women. But with Sports Illustrated, it's also highlighting a kind of athleticism in body type. And that's a very specific form of beauty. You have to be young, you have to be female, generally, you have to be extremely athletic, you have to be shapely in a very particular way, and that would be with a waist to hip ratio of 0.68, because that's what's been established cross-culturally as ideal from the perspective of male sexual interest, let's say, but that's also associated with fertility.
Yeah.
And so it's a marker that has a biological basis. And so even if you're a very beautiful woman, you're hard pressed to be beautiful enough to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated for the swimsuit issue. And so it's a pinnacle achievement of sorts, and it's focused on a very idealized and specific form of beauty. And that's obviously exclusionary. It's obviously exclusionary. It excludes everyone. Right. And it does that to highlight a kind of ideal, and that's a particular ideal of beauty. And there are some cultural boundaries around that, so you could say, well, it's a westernized form of beauty. It's like, yeah, and you can point to Rubens' paintings of more plump women and say, well, there's an exception. It's like, great, you think you're a genius for finding that exception. Good for you. You know the Rubens painting. Like, more power to you. But that doesn't mean anything at all about the universality of images of beauty. And so the cover bothered me a lot because it was a cheap manipulation of something that had been working very well for Sports Illustrated. It was also an insistence that all of a sudden this non-athletic body type is as beautiful as the standard swimsuit model for Sports Illustrated. And
stop the cap.
And that's where, and that's the point that I wanted to make. That right there, that right there, that right there, that right there. That's the issue. Women are trying to make us accept beauty as equal as what most men would find attractive, and it's not gonna work. Now, there are some guys out there that would deal with that? Sure. No, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of other guys that are, I mean, it is what it is. You know the saying, slow Tuesday. So it's just mind-boggling because you will never see this kind of push for men. You won't. I remember there's a YouTuber by the name of Chris Williamson, and he had this video where they were discussing how there was a catalog of, they were showing catalogs of women in underwear, and they were fit women, plus size women, all that. But when you look at the models, the male models for underwear, they're literally all shredded and jacked, every single one of them. So what does that tell you? Like, there's something wrong with that, and the fact that it doesn't really get pushed out there that, hey, like, why is this so one-sided? And then on top of it being one-sided, why are you shaming men for telling y'all, hey, we don't want that? Yet y'all hold men to a far higher standard than y'all do yourselves. See, this is what really trips me out about modern women. They want to hold us to such a high standard, but they want us to accept them as they are. Make that make sense. Please, make that make sense. Y'all saw the video I just posted the other day of the BBW looking like Biggie Smalls in the face. Y'all see what she was on. Y'all see everything she wants. You put down everything on that list. What is she bringing to the table outside of some box? And she's not even attractive enough to pass the boner test, but she expects a man to do all those things for her. And she was a BBW, so that right there, it fits right. It fits right into this. Into this. Like, honestly, this was one of the reasons why I wanted to react to this next, because it connects to the video that I did prior to this. Method to the madness, fellas. Let's keep it moving.
And it's not. It's not as athletic, and it's not as healthy.
Nope.
And that's that. And it's also not arbitrary. And so the whole thing is a lie. And then it's a lie that's a manipulation of that young woman. Now, she partakes in that because she participates in it. But it's still, they're not on her side. They're exploiting her, as far as I'm concerned. And she may be participating in that exploitation, but they're still exploiting her. So don't pull any moral stunts on me because you're irritated about my opinion about the Sports Illustrated cover, when it's bloody clear to anybody with eyes that that was manipulative in 20 different ways. And I'm also not willing to sacrifice these ideals for inclusiveness. It's like, no, not everyone's a genius. No, not everyone's Picasso. No, not everyone's young and healthy. And no, not everyone is a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model, period. And fuck you if you don't like it. So that's basically what I thought about that.
Hold on. What? Damn. Yo, I've been following Jordan Peterson for a long time, and I will tell you, that's the first time I've ever heard him cuss. Oh God, that's the first time I've ever heard him cuss. Wow. Okay. Whoa. Yo, shout out to Jordan Peterson, man. Like, dude, this guy is, he's got to be like one of the smartest guys on the planet, bro. Like, seriously. Like, dude is a genius, bro. And yet, this is another one of the reasons why I was heartbroken by Kevin Samuels set passing, man, because can you imagine a collab with Kevin Samuels and Jordan Peterson? And then if you even want to throw Rolo in there, oh my God, bro. Like, those are three minds that I would love to just, man, like, what I would give to be able to pick their brains, bro. Like, for real, man. Man, rest in peace to the Godfather, too, bro. Let's keep it moving.
I certainly didn't think it would cause as much trouble as it did. You know, when people were on my case for being mean, it's like, yeah, I know, I'm always mean because, you know, that's...
Well, also, like, life is hard and, like, life is mean, right? And it's hard for people. First of all, I have great sympathy for anybody overweight because of the health struggles I went through. And you lost a whole bunch of weight. It's not like being overweight's fun, right?
No.
That's a whole other problem to get into with, I think people have such an issue losing weight that society has said, you know what, it's fine. Because you've had so much trouble that it's probably your genetics.
Yeah.
So
well,
you might...
there's truth in that. Like, when I look at someone who's obese on the street, I think, oh, that's too bad. Like, that's too bad. I don't think, you know, obese pig eats too much, has no self-control. I don't think that. I think bad mismatch between genetic proclivity and appalling diet. And the appalling diet is basically, we're not going to get into this, but basically carbohydrate heavy and sugar loaded. And fair enough, you know, we tried hard, the whole world, to make calories cheap. And we did that. So no one's starving, and great. But now we have an obesity problem, and it's a major problem. And I'm not going to pretend that it's okay. It's not okay. That doesn't mean I don't have sympathy for it. And I'm not willing to sacrifice any ideals for this idiot inclusiveness. I'm done with that. And so should everyone else be. And
he's right. And he's right. And he's right. People need to quit acting. People need to get out of their feelings and start using a little bit of logic, you know? Cause let me tell you something, man. Like, I've had people unfriend me, cut me off, because I'm pretty outspoken about this. And one of the reasons why I'm outspoken about this is because I actually used to be what would be considered underweight. For y'all that don't know, when I first started my fitness journey, I was probably 120 pounds soaking wet. I'm 5'7". A man that's 5'7" should weigh somewhere between 140 up to 157 pounds. As of right now, I kind of float between 150, 155. My profile picture that y'all see, that's me. That's me usually somewhere between 140, 145. So that's why when I say I need to get back down to that weight, you know what I mean, in order to look that way. I mean, but I've been working out for so long and I've done so much studying that I know how to manipulate my body in order to get it to where I want it to get. You know what I mean? So it ain't, losing 10, 15 pounds is nothing to me. Because when I first started, I didn't know any better and I was just taking in calories like crazy. And I ended up bulking up to like 180, 185. My goal was to bulk up to 200 and then cut down. But then when I started learning about BMI and stuff like that, it was kind of like, oh. And I started paying attention to how my body felt when I was at that weight. Like, I felt like crap. You know what I mean? Then come to find out, I'm not supposed to weigh more than 157 at my height, which is why pretty much from 160 on, I started feeling like crap. So people need to, you know, get that understood. And I remember I had made a post on Facebook one time about, you know, losing weight and things of that nature, and I had people come for me. But I had to let them know, like, yo, there's people in my family that started working out and were inspired because they saw my gains over the years. They saw what I looked like prior to me working out. And they said, they started looking at me like, damn, you know what? Let me get my ass in the gym. My own mom started getting in the gym, yo. My mom used to weigh like 210, 220. She's down to 169 now. And her goal was to get to 160. And the only reason why she's not at 160 now is because she just had knee surgery about a month or two ago. So she ain't really been to the gym in a while. But she eats far better than what she used to. But at the same time, my mom is almost pushing 70. So she still wants to keep a little extra weight on her. So that, you know, so just in case, you know, as she's getting older, if she does get sick, she got some fat to fight that off. I'm just saying, bro, like, people need to really, like, just get out of their feelings and understand that being overweight and being obese is not healthy. It's not. Take it from somebody who actually purposely got overweight and literally felt like crap. And then once I lost it back and got to a reasonable weight that was with my BMI, I felt 100 times better and I looked the best I ever looked physically. So I don't want to hear any more. I don't want to hear excuses. I hate that. You know what I mean? Let's get in the gym and get this shmoney, bro. Alright? If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. You're an OG. Appreciate the love and support. Hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm. And hit the bell notification so that way y'all know when I upload. Alright? Until the next video, y'all. Deuces.